Hi everyone! It's finally time to start a coloring book which I got a month ago, Gnomes in the Neighborhood by Denyse Klette. And of course, I will be starting from one of her beautiful winter pictures. I will be using Neocolor crayons for the background and Prismacolor pencils for the rest of the page. When I looked at this picture, I saw that snow caps on the trees, and of course they will be mostly white, so I need a bright or maybe dark background, but at least not in pastel colors, because if I do a background with pastel colors, I won't get beautiful snow caps, they will be almost invisible. So I decided to go with spectacular, maybe evening background in yellow, orange, and magenta colors. And the easiest way is to use neocolor crayons, but of course you can use watercolors, you can use soft pastels or Inktense. You can do any background color, I just recommend to do it quite contrast to the color of the snow. I indicated colors of all crayons which I used here, and I went from the soft yellow on the down part to the carmine and purple violet on the upper part of the page. I didn't care about smooth gradient because I think that on the later step maybe I will add additional color accents as a second layer with colored pencils, or maybe I will add a lot of snowflakes. I will decide later. For now I am doing just one layer of neocolors, then I let it dry completely, and for applying water I used one of my soft brushes in order to not damage the surface of the paper. Then I let it dry, I ironed my page, and I added in couple of places second layer of crayons without adding water, and I did it on the places where I wasn't satisfied with intensity of colors. After that, I decided that I also wanted to use neocolors for the trees, and honestly, I did it only because here we have a lot of trees, and I think that for me it will be boring and very time consuming to color all those similar trees with pencils. And if I do them as a first layer with neocolors, it will be much quicker, and if I want to, I on the next step add more contrast and additional colors with regular pencils. So I used three colors of crayons: moss green, chromium green oxide, and also emerald green, which is something between green or blue, but I still used it, and I think that it created more vivid colors. And anyway, very often pine trees has color something between blue and green, so I decided that emerald green will be also a nice selection for the trees. You can now turn off my music and to listen something that you like, and please turn on sound next time when I will start to color with Prismacolor pencils. So here we have a lot of snow on this page, and our first problem is how to color snow. To leave it white isn't a very great solution because in reality snow is almost never completely white. It always has a little bit of blue into it. And our second problem is that we also have our snowmen here. And somehow we have to divide our main characters, our snowmen, from the snow outside them. So my solution here is to use blues of different hues. For the snow on the ground and also on the house roof, I will be using blue which is closer to violet. For me it will be blue-violet lake and also a touch of great lavender. And for our snowmen I will be using cold blues like electric blue or maybe non-photo blue. And in this way I will be able to divide my background from my characters. But first I want to color windows. I want to color them in warm colors. I don't know, it's for you to decide. Maybe they have some kind of flame inside the house, or maybe it's a reflection of the sky, but I want to use sunburst yellow and cadmium orange hues for the windows, and I think that later I also will add highlights with white color, so I am not particularly careful with my strokes. I just want to apply color on this step. Also, we will have a reflection from this yellow-orange light from the windows on the snow. So I used deco yellow on the areas of snow which are closer to the windows. After that, I used blue-violet lake and great lavender to add shadows to the snow on the trees. I think that snow on the ground we will be coloring in the next part. Of course, I hadn't covered the whole snow patches on the tree with my blue color. I left some uncolored areas, and later I will smooth colors with my white pencil. But I wasn't afraid to apply too dark blue colors because on the last step I plan to use white paint and to cover all black lines. So I need a nice contrast with blue shadows. Next, I decided that my trees look a little bit too plain, so I decided to also add shadows to them. I went for the peacock green, quite unusual color, not very natural looking, but surprisingly here it worked quite well. But this color really depends from the color of the background, so if you used other neocolor crayons or other colors for the first layer on the trees, you may select other green matching colors from your Prismacolor sets. And I also used indigo blue because I really love to use blue, dark blue, as a shadow for green colors. And again, I later plan to add additional snow to the trees, so I will be able to correct if I add too dark shadows on the trees. I know that a lot of beginner colorists are a little bit afraid of coloring snow and very often they just leave it white. But in my advice, it's much better to add some color reflexes with pale blue, pale violet, or even pale yellow and pale pink, and it looks much more lovely. And I also advise always to cover black lines. In this way, your picture will look much more professional and much more similar to the real book illustration. I plan to divide coloring of this picture into 3 parts, so I hope to see you in the next one where I will be coloring house. Thank you for watching and happy winter time!